Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today I'm going to tell a story from ancient India. It is about when injustice comes your way. The story is called Bopoluchi, and it goes like this. A long time ago in India, there lived a beautiful girl called Bopoluchi. She was lovely to look at, she was lovely of character. Her mother had died when she was young, and she lived with her loving father. There was only one issue. Her father was really poor, and in those days in India, men had to pay a dowry if they wanted to marry, or the woman would get a dowry from the man's family. So there was no way that her father could afford a dowry. So it didn't look like she could get married. Now there was also, at the same time, a very mean, ugly robber living in that village. And he saw Bopoluchi and he knew her story, and he thought, I'm going to steal her away. So he went and he talked to her father and he says, I am the brother of your dead wife and a long-lost brother, and I've come back. And I volunteer to intermediate to find a suitable partner for your daughter. So the man was interested, but he says, there's no way I can pay a dowry. And then the robber said, oh, this is where I come in. I can pay that dowry. That's the least I can do for my dead sister. So he says, I know somebody who's willing, a nice guy, willing to marry your daughter, Bopoluchi. And so she discussed with the father, and they finally decided that was maybe a good opportunity for her. So the robber came to pick her up, to take her to the supposedly other guy, and they left. And all of a sudden, she left everything, her family, her father, her friends, her home, everything, her life. And she saw the road, she saw the house getting smaller and smaller. And then while they were away many miles from the house, the robber declared the truth to her, and he says, actually, I want to marry you. And she started to cry, but he gripped her by the wrist so she could not escape. She wanted to run away. She got even more down when they stopped at a place near the forest, and he went into a very dark road into the forest to a little hut further on. He led her there, and his mother lived there, and he stashed all the gold and the jewelry that he robbed. And the mother was this ugly, bold witch, and she said, okay, she knew all about it. So you're the girl, okay. And she brought out a wedding dress which she had made for the occasion, full of, bonds and shackles in case she would run away. Now the robber went away to make arrangements for the wedding. And so the girl was alone with the mother. And when the mother got out her wedding dress, she noticed the beautiful hair that Bopoluchi had. And she says, how did you get such beautiful hair? And she says, well, she was also a smart girl. And she says, well, when my mother was still alive, she used to hold my head against a stone, and she would bang on it with a pestle, and that would stimulate my scalp, and so my hair would grow. I could do that for you if you wanted to, she said to the mother. And all of a sudden, in a upwelling of vanity, The lady said, yes, okay, go ahead. So she held her head against the stone. And Bopoluchi did not hesitate. She got out a pestle, also a stone thing, and she knocked as hard as she could on that mother's head, and she killed the mother that way. Then she was overwhelmed with remorse and guilt for having done such a horrible act. It took her a long time to come to her senses, but finally she did. And she dressed the mother up in the wedding outfit and put her on a chair. And then she got all the jewelry that she could find in the house, and she made her way. And when she got to the road, she saw the tracks of the car, and she used all her youth to run home with all the treasure that she had. In the meantime, the robber came home, and he saw what he thought was Bopoluchi in a bridal dress sitting on a chair. And he had brought a spinning wheel, which he wanted her to weave. And he called her, and she didn't respond. Called her again, she didn't respond. And he was a foul, ill-tempered, short-tempered guy, so he threw the spinning wheel at her. And then the head fell down. And he saw it was his mother, and he thought that he had killed her. And he got away from that spot. Even he felt bad at that moment. And he got away, he ran, he never came back. And Bopoluchi made it back home to her father, who was, of course, extremely happy to see her. And after she'd heard the horror story, and there she was with all the gold and jewels. And what they did then is they gave all the gold and jewels back to the people in the village, because that's where it had been stolen. But even then, there was quite a lot left. They were wealthy from then on, and they lived happily together. If you have any comments on this story, or suggestions for another one, do let me know. Thank you.